What happened in a sterile laboratory in Jerusalem 3 days ago will rewrite everything we know about human history. A team of archaeologists stared at their computer screens in absolute silence, their faces drained of color, as an AI revealed something beneath the Temple Mount that should not exist. Some called in sick the next day, others refused to speak about what they saw. One senior researcher was heard whispering, "We were never meant to find this." Beneath the golden sun of Jerusalem, the Temple Mount appears serene, sacred, untouchable. But beneath its centuries-old stones, a secret has waited, silent, impossible, and now finally revealed. An artificial intelligence, fed decades of archaeological surveys, historical maps, and satellite imagery, has just scanned the mount in unprecedented detail. What it uncovered made seasoned scientists pale, their hands shaking as the screens flickered with patterns no human eyes had ever seen. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to see will rewrite history. The first revelation came in the form of impossible geometry. Tunnels twist at angles that defy logic, corridors intersecting with precision that no ancient blueprint could explain. The AI detected passageways hidden beneath layers of stone and soil, carving through rock as if guided by an intelligence beyond human understanding. Within these tunnels, clusters of dense material pulsed under analysis. Metallic traces, layered with mineral formations, hinted at construction techniques lost to time. Ancient builders, long forgotten, had left fingerprints of a technology so precise that even today's engineers struggled to imagine its execution. Thermal anomalies appeared next. Pulses of heat rhythmically radiating from deep within the mount suggested not decay, not natural processes, but a system maintained, alive, almost conscious. Each flare of energy whispered of a presence undisturbed for millennia, a secret guarding itself beneath the sacred hill. Patterns emerged in the rock itself, geometrical sequences so precise they seemed to hum with intention. Etched in stone, invisible to the naked eye, they were only revealed when the AI mapped shifts in electron density. Symbols older than recorded history, deliberate and cryptic, a message encoded in stone waiting for minds sharp enough to interpret it. Even deeper, the AI revealed vast, symmetrical chambers, spaces hundreds of meters long, carved with perfect precision, defying probability. Hollow, untouched, and preserved, they suggested not human whim, but a purpose. These were not storage rooms or caves. They were monumental, deliberate, sacred. Gravity itself seemed altered in certain areas. Weight fluctuated without cause, as if matter bent to an unseen rule. Objects resting on the floor registered lighter, heavier, unpredictable, forcing scientists to question whether the mount itself defies nature, a locus of forces humanity barely understands. Energy spikes traced through the deeper chambers, electromagnetic pulses in sync with celestial events. The AI compared these readings to historical eclipses, planetary alignments, moments when the mount was whispered to host miracles. The alignment was uncanny, almost ritualistic, hinting that the hill's builders were aware of forces that science is only beginning to measure. Void spaces shaped exactly like human figures appeared in the data. No remains, no artifacts, only impressions in the stone as precise as life itself. Were they symbolic, ritualistic, or warnings left by an ancient civilization beyond comprehension? The scans revealed nothing definitive, only the chilling suggestion of intent. The Northern Discovery. As the AI continued its penetration of the Mount's secrets, it detected something that had eluded every human survey. A chamber beneath the northern terrace, perfectly circular, carved from solid bedrock. Its walls were flawless, unbroken, as if polished by an invisible hand. Thermal readings showed faint warmth emanating from its center, a heartbeat beneath the stone, almost imperceptible, but undeniably alive. Inside the digital map of this chamber, 5 irregular depressions appeared, shaped like bowls or basins, spaced with exacting symmetry. Each depression contained traces of mineral residue, detected through electromagnetic resonance, hinting at materials that had not existed in the region for millennia. Scientists whispered that these could be remnants of sacred rites, perhaps offerings, preserved untouched by time. The AI identified a network of hidden conduits connecting this chamber to other voids beneath the mount. Some were too narrow for humans to enter, yet the data suggested intentional design. A hydraulic or pneumatic system, engineered to transfer water, air, or energy. The precision of these channels rivaled modern engineering, and their purpose remained an enigma. Subtle magnetic anomalies lined the chamber walls, forming a pattern only visible through AI-enhanced scans. They resonated at frequencies matching celestial alignments, implying knowledge of astronomy embedded directly into architecture. Could the builders have engineered the very stones to interact with the heavens? The implications stunned the research team. Symbols appeared, etched in stone but invisible to the eye, revealed only through AI-enhanced imaging. Intricate, looping scripts intertwined with geometric patterns, perfectly preserved. Scholars suggested they predate known Hebrew and Canaanite scripts, hinting at an intelligence in Jerusalem long before any recorded civilization. The Southern Complex. Beneath the southern platform, another anomaly emerged. Massive blocks, irregular yet fitted with such precision that even modern lasers struggled to explain the alignment. The AI showed gaps smaller than a human hair, interlocking with a geometry that defied current understanding of stone cutting. This was not just construction, it was a signature of impossible craftsmanship. Within these southern chambers, spectral traces indicated the presence of organic compounds never cataloged in prior digs. The AI suggested these residues were decades, possibly centuries, old, remnants of oils, resins, and incense used in rituals unknown to any historical record. Chemical analysis implied exotic origins, traded or sourced from distant lands, a testament to Jerusalem's ancient reach. A deep, echoing chamber was revealed beneath the western edge. AI scans detected cavities filled with layered sediment, as if centuries of offerings or artifacts had been carefully stored and sealed. Calculations of volume suggested immense capacity, large enough to contain hundreds of ritual objects or ceremonial vessels. Every layer told a story in its density, waiting for AI to decode its history. The spiral discovery. The AI revealed a complex subterranean spiral, a staircase or ramp carved into limestone with absolute symmetry, descending deeper than any known human records describe. Its radius, angle, and curvature appeared mathematically precise, leading to a hidden junction connecting multiple sacred chambers. The sophistication of design suggested knowledge of physics and geometry that should have been impossible in its time. Energy fluxes, faint but measurable, coursed through these hidden corridors. The AI mapped them like veins of electricity, flowing along carved lines in the stone, intersecting at key nodes within the chambers. Scientists were forced to consider that these were not mere conduits. They could be an ancient system of energy or resonance, designed to channel forces beyond modern comprehension. In the heart of the mount, the AI revealed what looked like an untouched ritual platform, a perfect square carved directly from bedrock. Its surface contained concentric circles, radial lines, and shallow depressions, each calibrated with millimeter precision. Subtle differences in density suggested heavy objects had once rested here, perhaps idols, sacred instruments, or containers of offerings. Nearby, a second chamber displayed vertical grooves in its walls, consistent with the motion of large sliding blocks. The AI indicated these could be part of a sophisticated locking or sealing mechanism, one that preserved whatever lay beyond for thousands of years. The discovery hinted at intentional concealment, perhaps of knowledge or objects deemed too sacred for human eyes. The AI detected faint, repeating thermal pulses throughout this Western network. Not random heat, but a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. Scholars proposed it could be a chemical reaction preserved in stone, or perhaps a property of the chamber itself, a resonance left by the original builders. Either way, it was alive in a way that defied current scientific explanation. The Eastern Grid. Beneath the eastern terrace, 5 chambers formed a hidden grid, connected by narrow channels. A eye analysis suggested their orientation aligned with solstices and equinoxes. The precision of these angles, perfectly matched with celestial events, hinted at ritual significance and an astronomical awareness encoded directly into architecture. A star map beneath the mount, invisible for millennia. Organic residues within these chambers showed evidence of exotic plants, some no longer grown in the region. The AI cross-referenced botanical data, suggesting trade or ritual importation from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Arabia. The Temple Mount, the scans implied, was not only a spiritual hub but a center of international influence, feeding faith, commerce, and science simultaneously. Deep beneath the southern junction lay a sealed chamber, untouched for thousands of years. Its circular walls contained concentric carvings, faint inscriptions, and a central depression aligned precisely with the rising sun at the summer solstice. The scans suggested it held objects of extreme importance, ritual vessels, tools, or perhaps the physical remnants of ceremonies long thought lost. As the AI's sensors penetrated this southern sealed chamber with unprecedented precision, they revealed 5 concentric layers beneath the floor. Each layer radiated a different electromagnetic signature, as if the chamber itself had been engineered to store not only objects but energy, trapped, preserved, waiting for something or someone to release it. Embedded within the innermost layer, traces of organic matter were unlike anything catalogued in modern archaeology. Molecular analysis suggested oils, resins, and possibly blood from multiple species, some extinct. The combination indicated ceremonial use on a scale and sophistication previously unimaginable, a ritual preserved in silence for millennia. A hidden subchamber opened in the AI model, revealed only by subtle variations in stone density. Inside, the AI detected 5 upright monoliths, each perfectly aligned with the cardinal points. Their arrangement suggested a deliberate encoding of knowledge, geometry, astronomy, or possibly something more arcane. A map not just of the Earth but of the heavens themselves. Thermal imaging revealed intermittent pulses in precise rhythm, forming a pattern corresponding to ancient Hebrew calendrical cycles. The AI interpreted the signals as possibly linked to ritual timings, the movement of celestial bodies, or even a sophisticated warning system embedded in the mount's very foundation. Humanity was staring at a spiritual and scientific enigma carved in stone. The AI uncovered inscriptions in a previously unknown script, layered over older Paleo-Hebrew markings. Their complexity suggested multiple periods of use and modification, as if generations of priests or scribes had maintained secrecy while preserving sacred knowledge. Decoding them would take decades. Yet, even preliminary analysis implied a connection to early temple rites described only in fragmented texts. beyond the monoliths, a narrow shaft appeared, angled downward at exactly 33 degrees. The AI mapped it as descending into total darkness, lined with grooves and channels that could transport water, air, or sound. Its purpose was unclear, but the precision hinted at both engineering mastery and spiritual intent, a conduit linking the hidden chamber to the Mount's broader subterranean network. In the northern chamber, AI scans revealed an anomaly in the stone, a perfectly rectangular void, appearing empty but emitting faint radiation in frequencies mimicking human brainwaves. Scientists speculated this was either a side effect of natural mineral resonance or a deliberate design intended to interact with consciousness itself. Adjacent to this void, the AI detected faint residues of metals unknown in the ancient Near East. Their composition suggested smelting techniques far advanced for the era, possibly predating known metallurgy by centuries. Could these materials have been imported or created locally with a knowledge lost to time? Either possibility rewrote assumptions about technological history in Jerusalem. The AI traced the spiral staircase to a hidden junction below the eastern grid. There, the scans revealed a chamber flooded with faint luminescence. Not light, but phosphorescent mineral deposits lining the walls. The glow traced intricate designs, animals, ritual objects, and symbols aligning with star constellations. A sacred narrative encoded in stone and light, invisible for millennia, now emerging in digital vision. In the deepest layer, the AI exposed a cluster of stone sarcophagi carved with geometric precision. No inscriptions survived on the surface, yet AI-enhanced imaging suggested faint traces of paint and gilding. Their alignment with the chamber's celestial markers implied intentional placement, a burial site or sanctum where faith, astronomy, and engineering converged. A sudden anomaly appeared in the western sublevels. AI detected 5 chambers vibrating at subtly different frequencies, creating an interference pattern reminiscent of acoustic resonance. The pattern was not random. It matched proportions described in biblical texts regarding temple construction. The implication: the Temple Mount itself could have been designed as a resonant instrument, channeling sound, energy, or ritual vibrations throughout its subterranean network. Chemical residue analysis suggested exotic compounds, including frankincense, myrrh, and substances not native to the region, layered with soot and ash. Their distribution implied repeated ceremonies performed by hands that carefully preserved the sanctity of the site while leaving behind a coded record, etched not just in writing, but in molecular memory. The central node. The AI revealed a series of vertical shafts descending from multiple chambers, converging at a single node beneath the mount. This node contained density anomalies forming a perfect cube suspended in the rock matrix. The cube emitted faint electromagnetic pulses, aligned with solstices and lunar cycles. Could this have been a repository of knowledge, a power source, or a sacred object, preserved with extreme care over thousands of years? The AI traced a network of hidden tunnels beneath the sacred chamber, extending beyond the known mount boundaries. These tunnels aligned precisely with the ancient water system, hinting at an integration of ritual, engineering, and celestial observance. The scale suggested the Temple Mount was not merely a hill, but a massive, living system, a fusion of faith, science, and architecture beyond comprehension. The octagonal sanctum. The AI's deep scans pierced further, revealing a hidden chamber beneath the western terraces, shaped like an elongated octagon, its floor sloping toward a central point. Within, 5 raised stone platforms formed a perfect pentagram. Residue analysis indicated a mixture of ashes, oils, and minerals that defied modern replication. Compounds that could have been ceremonial, medicinal, or something entirely unknown. faint traces of organic fibers appeared along the edges of the platforms. The AI suggested these were fabrics, deliberately preserved, woven from plants long extinct in the region. They bore microscopic stains of metals and rare elements, hinting at garments used in rituals so ancient their purpose had been erased from memory, leaving only echoes in stone and data. Sensors detected subtle energy fluctuations throughout the octagonal chamber, moving in rhythmic pulses across the pentagram. The AI calculated them to align with solar solstice angles and lunar cycles. The resonance was not auditory but vibrational, like the chamber itself was singing a song of alignment between heaven and earth, encoded into stone with impossible precision. The final layer. Within the octagonal chamber, the AI revealed faint glyphs carved into the walls, invisible to the human eye for millennia. They depicted abstract symbols intertwined with natural forms, trees, stars, and flowing water. Preliminary analysis suggested a narrative spanning centuries, a visual scripture of knowledge preserved in silence, meant to be seen only by those who could read between layers of time. The AI identified a narrow conduit running beneath the octagon, lined with metallic compounds that reflected electromagnetic waves. The pattern suggested it could channel energy, water, or sound in a controlled manner. Its alignment with the outer walls created an almost mechanical resonance, as if the chamber itself was a node in a larger hidden network spanning the entirety of the mount. Further scans uncovered a second, smaller chamber adjacent to the first, sealed by massive stone slabs carved from a single bedrock mass. AI imaging revealed 5 circular depressions, each containing layered mineral deposits. The composition suggested sequential rituals performed over centuries, untouched by human interference, preserving an unbroken chain of sacred observances. Thermal mapping exposed tiny heat signatures concentrated in the center of these depressions. The AI hypothesized these could be remnants of chemical reactions from substances long decayed, or a residue of energy released and contained within the stone itself. The pattern suggested intentional design, a deliberate attempt to trap and channel forces beyond ordinary comprehension. The ancient vessels. A hidden alcove inside the second chamber contained 5 stone vessels, perfectly sealed, with surfaces radiocarbon dated to over 3,000 years ago. The AI's spectral analysis suggested each contained traces of aromatic compounds, metals, and organic matter. The arrangement and orientation implied a deliberate connection to celestial events, their placement encoding time, ritual, or knowledge lost to modern understanding. Beyond the alcove, the AI detected microfractures in the surrounding rock that formed repeating geometric patterns. These fractures appeared to be engineered, not natural, creating a lattice-like structure. The implication was staggering. The builders may have intentionally encoded structural intelligence, a hidden design to stabilize chambers while simultaneously transmitting or storing energy. The AI mapped faint traces of organic life that had somehow survived in isolated pockets within the stone matrix. Microbes, spores, and residues were frozen in time, carrying chemical signatures from civilizations long gone. The data suggested these pockets were deliberately preserved, possibly as part of ritual, as offerings, or as a record of life itself, layered like fossils of devotion. The central convergence. A final anomaly appeared beneath the southern corridor, a perfectly circular cavity, 10 feet across, surrounded by radial grooves in the bedrock. The AI indicated that whatever had been stored here was no ordinary artifact. Its shape and alignment implied a connection to multiple chambers, the pentagram, and the solstice angles, a convergence of architecture, ritual, and unseen forces, a node of power whose purpose eluded even the most advanced computation. The AI's imaging revealed one last layer of complexity. Tiny carvings etched into the ceiling of the southern cavity, only visible through multi-spectrum enhancement. They depicted intertwined symbols resembling both constellations and ancient text, yet unlike anything known in human history. Each mark resonated with the energy traces already detected, suggesting deliberate interaction between symbols, space, and unseen forces. Sensors detected rhythmic pulses moving through all the chambers beneath the mount, subtle but unmistakable. The AI modeled them as synchronized energy waves, converging at precise points in the pentagram and central cavity. No mechanism existed in modern engineering to explain this phenomenon, yet it was real, measurable, and perfectly tuned across millennia. The living system. The octagonal chamber, the pentagram platforms, the sealed vessels, the concentric cavities, all pointed to a design far beyond contemporary understanding. Layers of stone, energy, inscription, and organic matter formed a labyrinth of intent, ritual, and unknown purpose. The AI could see the architecture, map the energy, decode residues, yet the meaning remained tantalizingly out of reach, like a whispered secret from the past. And in the deepest core, where the central cavity aligned with the solstice sunrise and the lunar apex, the AI detected a faint resonance, something that hummed not in sound, but in presence. It pulsed with the rhythm of life and intention, and yet it was silent. The scans revealed everything, yet demanded interpretation, daring the living to touch what had been untouched for millennia. Beneath the temple mount, hidden chambers, encoded glyphs preserved rituals, and energy conduits converged in a web of incomprehensible design. Light, stone, and resonance intertwined across millennia. The AI had stitched together centuries of subterranean mysteries. Hidden chambers, thermal pulses, impossible structures, human-shaped voids, and cryptic patterns formed a layered map of intelligence beneath the mount. A vessel of knowledge, power, and perhaps something forbidden. Above, Jerusalem remains alive with prayer and patrol, while below, the AI has lifted the veil. Ancient chambers, symbols humming with encoded purpose, and anomalies that challenge physics itself. An entire universe sealed beneath the most sacred hill on Earth. Scientists, historians, and technologists stare at screens as reality bends. The Temple Mount is no longer a hill. It is a labyrinth of the impossible, a vault of knowledge where the first human eyes are only now beginning to see. At that moment, the AI paused, its visualization glowing with hidden geometry, thermal pulses, and magnetic anomalies all converging. Every scan, every anomaly, every hidden void pointed to one truth. Beneath Jerusalem's most contested hill lay a labyrinth of power, knowledge, and faith, untouched, waiting, and watching. A presence older than any record, older than memory, older than history itself.